On this episode of the Third Gallon Podcast.
Did you like my Chester noises there, Jacob?
Mama.
Just as the Outlaws were about to finish a frantic fight with the Gnoll marksman,
This shot rang out of nowhere and hit Asuvu, and you ended up having a fight. Asuvu got hit, and you fought this kind of long-ranged gunner. It was a Gnoll with this firearm. It's actually called a piercing wind, so it has like a knife.
Ooh, that one's named after Jacob.
He fought you guys pretty hard, and then suddenly and unexpectedly, or about round 4 here on his turn, surrendered.
their ambusher suddenly surrendered.
He's on his knee and like the weapon's on the ground, like he's kneeling down. I surrender. Please forgive me.
Why'd you attack us?
What happened? Yeah.
Apologies. I thought you were bandits.
And something seems special about him and his gun.
You detect pretty strong magic coming from the gun. And you also detect some sort of magic around him a little bit. You can tell that the gun gives off, in terms of traditions, divine and evocation.
It's a fancy gun you got there.
It's about to get interesting.
The Fast I Fest.
Now.
So we have a question today to start us off from our dearly beloved listener, one of many, but very dearly beloved to Jacob, Bridgie P.
How many Bridgie P's
You
are
mean
there?
his enemy?
Yeah, you're a
Yeah.
great betrayer.
Yeah, I know he's the great, or there. I don't know. The Bridgie P is the great betrayer.
Bridgie P has wronged
We
us both,
are
Jacob.
powered
Yes, you are right.
by
Yes.
an army of Bridgie Ps.
Bridgie P has deeply insulted half of this cast.
Yes.
And yet we still love them.
Bridgie P has a question about the rules,
The rules?
which is something I'm always excited to talk about, especially because we want to like. I feel like if you've listened this far into the podcast, you have a vague idea how 2E works, but like we can always get into theory crafting and peeking behind the scenes and how the like math goes. But he asked, so you guys have mentioned that the standard DC goes up by level, and now it is now at 20 for level 5, which at time of recording we're now level 6, so it'll be 22. When at first it was more around 15. How does progression on skill checks and successes work if any improvement the characters get is negated by the DCs getting progressively harder? It feels like you end up with the exact same percentage chance of success of any action, regardless of how far the characters have come, because the DCs just get higher and higher. More of a discussion, this specific question, I suppose. Thanks. So I wanted to talk about this because I have seen talk about this and a related topic about how like fighting monsters, like because AC is a difficulty class all to itself, right? So people say, well, like what's the point with adding your level to your proficiency if everything else goes up with it? And it's a related kind of thing.
At a glance, they're right.
Yeah.
But there's more to it.
Exactly. And because a lot of these people are also coming from 5e where you just have proficiency. So I want to talk about a couple things. So to address Bridgie's question more specifically, part of it is me as a GM relying on one table when I should look at 2. And I'll admit that because I didn't really think about it. So there's 2 tables on the GM screen that I use. Both come from the core rulebook on page 503. The table I use, I call it the standard DC because it's called DCs by level. And so it goes up from 1 to 20 and gives you a like baseline DC if you're setting a check that is supposedly difficult for that level, right? And then if you want to make it, adjust it, this is on page 504 of the cool rulebook. If you want to adjust it and make it easy, you subtract 2, and you could subtract 5 if it's very easy, or you could subtract 10 if it's incredibly easy, right? but you're basing the difficulty of that task on the character's like power level. Like that's what your level represents, how far you've accumulated power, right?
So let's give an example. Like if you're climbing a ladder, that should be super easy.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is you wouldn't use DCs by level if you're talking about something like that.
That's true.
There's another table that I haven't always used, and I definitely haven't mentioned on the show, called simple DCs. That's also on page 503. And they go by proficiency. If you're untrained, a simple DC is 10. If you are trained, a simple DC is 15. Oh. If you're expert, a simple DC is 20, master 30, legendary 40. So climbing a ladder, I would say, is like very easy, untrained DC. So that would be 5.
Yeah.
Very easy, right? So I typically have been pulling from DCs by level, but I shouldn't always have to do that. Like sometimes vaulting over something isn't a level 5 check. It is a trained check, right? And the higher level you are, the easier it is to do those kind of just baseline checks, right? Because if I am a 10th level character, my bonus being trained is going to be a lot stronger than a second level character being trained because I'm 8 levels higher. So I'm going to have a plus 8 to that, right? So it's because of my character's power level, I'm still going to beat that those fixed DCs based on proficiency better. DCs by level, I admit that I've been leaning on them too hard, but I use them because a lot of times the tasks you guys do, I feel like, are things that characters of your power level are contending with more than just kind of a fixed arbitrary thing. And if you feel otherwise, you could always call that out. And that's kind of the core crux of why you add level to proficiency in Pathfinder 2E is because of power scaling. All of us at this table have played 5E, and because of the way 5E works with bounded accuracy, if you're level 1 and you fought a CR7 monster, depending on the monster and depending on your luck, you might have a reasonable shot at taking it down, right? If your party's big enough, if you get lucky, right? Maybe not level 1, but maybe level 2. It's out of your station, but you have a reasonable shot because
you can hit it.
Right. Yeah. If you're level 1 or 2 in 2E and you fight a CR7 or a level 7 monster, you're gonna die.
You dead.
You're going to die. It's 6 or 5 levels over you. That is supposed to represent power scaling. Like you can't deal with this.
Yeah.
Some people like to argue that if a level 15 or like 20 fighter was laying still on the ground, a level 1 person couldn't hit them. And I think that's kind of dumb because it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
And realistically, any GM would just like hand wave the rules because they're letting themselves be hit, right? But like that's the kind of point. The level is there to represent power scaling.
As we've seen with what was his name?
Yeah, exactly.
Him. Yes.
Yes.
The nerd.
Murph.
No, the one that Eleanor decked.
Yeah, I decked him.
You're thinking Mugland.
Wit.
No.
Wit.
Okay.
Whittaker.
Wait, couldn't hit me, really, could he?
No.
Yeah, he couldn't. And he rolled an 18, right?
Yeah, he rolled in that 18 and couldn't hit me.
Yeah, he could only hit you on like a natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So to put it simply, the progression system, if you're at the same level as your enemy, you do basically have a 50% chance for an average check.
Yeah.
Unless it has an abnormally high AC, which can happen, or an abnormally high fort, reflex, or will, because those will vary, you have about a 50% chance of hitting. But the progression helps emphasize the strength on levels below and above you.
Yes. When you guys fought the snakes.
Yes. So the snake fight was super easy, but if we had proficiency without level, if we took the level out of it, those snakes could have been a bit more difficult because they would have been more likely to hit us.
Yeah.
And we would have been less likely to hit them.
This is why I call it the rolling window of math, right? Because every level, a lot of the numbers go up because it's adding your level to it, but also the monster stuff goes up. That's why the degree of proficiency in 2E is so important, because in 5E, you just have a proficiency bonus, no level, and the proficiency bonus is set in the front of the book and goes up at certain level points, right? In 2E, you have untrained, which is you don't add any proficiency, just your ability score modifiers. Mm-hmm. You have trained, which is level +2. Mm-hmm. expert, which is level +4.
And for most people, you can't do expert until you're level 3.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's for skills.
That's for skills. And then for master, you can't do until 7.
Yes.
And then for legendary, you can't do until 15.
Yes.
You can't up something up to that point until that level.
So it's less about, the level makes all the numbers go up. It's more about how ahead of the curve you get.
Yeah.
Because everything goes up. And then that way, if you fight goblins at level 1, and then you fight another group of goblins at level 5, you'll kick their butts.
Yeah.
Because you want to feel that sense of progression and power scaling, right? And a thing to note about the standard DC, or the DC by level, is it doesn't just go up by 1. It does actually account for both ability scores and proficiency increasing. Now, that's another point. Well, then, like, how can I ever get ahead if it also goes up? So every 3 levels, it goes up by 2. It starts at 1 is 15, and then it's a 15, 16. At 3, it jumps up to 18. 4 is 19, 5 is 20, and then at 6, it jumps up to 22. Part of that is so, like, every 3 levels, things kind of get harder and then get easier, harder, then get easier, right? And that, along with how creatures are designed, puts an emphasis on the things that you're good at, right? Because, like, you can be a wizard and be itty-bitty and weak and then become trained in athletics at level 10, and all of a sudden you have 10 plus 2 to whatever you didn't have anything before. But at the same time, you're not going to outpace your fighter who is, like, now expert or master at athletics, right? So staying ahead of the curve is important. And even though you're now trained and have this massive bonus, your percentage chance to succeed is not going to be as good as the fighter who has been ahead of the game, more or less.
Do you think, and this is a personal question to you, Derek, do you think that it's kind of this way so that fights aren't at higher level, just whoever goes first doesn't die?
Rocket tag?
Yeah.
I think so. We haven't got to very high level yet, but I have now run mid-level, so like level 6-ish fights versus them in 1E. And while it definitely still does get more complicated because there's more abilities to keep track of, it's better than it was in 1E. And they feel the same amount of balanced as they felt at level 1. Like in first edition Pathfinder, the higher you get, the harder. There's so many more dials and knobs with more abilities being added that it becomes really hard to make sure that the fight is balanced to your liking. But because of the way that everything scales with level and proficiency, it makes it really easy for the game to be balanced, and it feels the same amount of balanced at level 1. I will say it does feel like the hit points are a little bit tougher to deal with at level 1 than at level 6. It feels like you can take another hit or 2 at level 6, and maybe that's by design. Because we've been running the beginner box with Hans, and basically you can take 2 solid hits at level 1, and then you're down.
Yeah.
But at level 1, should you be able to take much more than that?
Right.
Really?
It depends on what game you're coming from, but yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Whereas, how many hits did Eleanor take in that last fight and is still standing? 1 or 2 or 3 or 4?
I mean, this fight I barely got touched.
Well, that's right. But like Eleanor's been hit.
You got hit like
3 or
3
4
times by
and was still standing.
but
alien.
only barely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Only barely, but you're still standing.
But I'm also a character who's more built for melee.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
But as opposed to level 1, you still would have been down in 2 hits.
Al was struggling after he got hit once.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there is also, if you don't like this, you can use the alternate rule in the GM's guide called proficiency without level. You'll also see on like every Nethys stat block the little option to turn it on. And basically that just...
Praise Nethys.
Yeah, praise Nethys. That lets you just turn off the level part of it, and you'll get a more 5e-like experience. And what was you were looking at this in the description of it. What is it? It's for a certain type of game, basically.
The proficiency rank progression in the core rulebook is designed for heroic fantasy games where heroes rise from humble origins to world-shattering strength. For some games, this narrative arc doesn't fit. Such games are about hedging bets in an uncertain and gritty world, in which even the world's best fighter can't guarantee a win against a large group of moderately skilled brigands. In games like these, your group might want to consider removing the character's level from the proficiency bonus. So if you wanted to feel less like Pathfinder and feel more like The Witcher, you would turn off, you would not count for level when you're doing proficiency. It becomes grittier and you're going to get hit more and probably crit less because your level is no longer part of it. That's what makes a level 5 character fighting a level 1 enemy still a bit dangerous, because at that point they can actually hurt you. Whereas the way we're playing with level, if we fought a level 1 enemy, we would critical them in almost every hit.
Yeah.
And we would crush them.
Yeah.
It depends on the type of gameplay you want, is what I'm hearing.
If you want a gritty game, you play proficiency without level.
Yeah, we call the 5e-ified, and because I saw a lot of posts about this whenever people were coming over from 5e, the 5e-ified Pathfinder is using the proficiency without level alternate rule and the automatic bonus progression, which basically, instead of having to getting gold and upgrading your weapons and armor with runes and getting like magic items
for skills also and stuff like that.
Yeah. Instead of doing that, there's like ways the game expects them to get certain upgrades at certain points. And it tells you this in the core rule book, right? That's why there's treasure by level. That's why every item and rune has a price associated with it. Every adventure path will give you basically the tools you need to make sure that your characters can get these upgraded items either by finding them or by having enough money and places to buy them, right?
And if the adventure path doesn't, they usually offer up a suggestion for an optional rule to use. Because I believe it's like that for the quest for the Frozen Flame.
It is. They recommend automatic bonus progression, I believe. But yeah, like if you want to do that, you'll get a lot of the feel of Pathfinder's like mechanics, but you won't have the power scaling. But I always encourage people to try the game vanilla first, because Pathfinder has always been about character customization and becoming a superhero or a demigod if you go all the way to level 20.
Yet you're not supposed to be as weak and gritty.
Yeah, and you're supposed to be able to go back to the things you fought at the beginning of the game and crush them.
And you should occasionally give your characters a little bit too easy of a encounter so they can feel powerful sometimes.
Like the snake fight.
Yeah, that's something, one of the main things I learned when I started running adventure paths and pre-written content instead of homebrewing is that not every fight has to be tough.
Yeah.
Because obviously sometimes in 1E the encounters weren't balanced and I'd have to tweak them because that game's just really wildly unbalanced. But like you learn that like pacing your encounter threat levels is important. Whenever the Pathfinder 2e says severe for an encounter threat level, it means severe.
You're going to hell. Someone's going to die.
One thing that I think is different that maybe you guys can comment on about 2e's design philosophy is I think Bridgie does have a point that like you're always going to have a certain chance to fail, even because everything's going up with you. Yeah. And like, yes, you can get ahead of the curve, but you can never get ahead of it to the point where you automatically succeed stuff.
I think that keeps it interesting.
It does. It's just game balance. If we got to the point where because we're a certain level and things on the same level as us were still easy, it would mean less. There would be no threat of death in our game, and a threat of death is important in your game.
Yes,
we've had this discussion.
A failure
before.
Is important.
Yeah. So, like that's why I specified earlier that it's for your level. You should have about a 50%, unless you're like 50% chance on average for a normal check. Of course, you're going to be better at some stuff and worse at others, especially at those higher levels. It gets emphasized more. Like a fighter is always going to be able to hit better than any other class because they have expert at level 1 and they rise faster, I believe.
Right.
But like your swashbucklers, your rogues, all of your other martial classes, it should have about a 50% chance to hit on your level. That way it's still interesting. Without a threat of failure, it's just not as fun.
Yeah, and the way I think these DCs by level are work is like if you're trying to do a DC that is set by your character level, so it's going to get harder, or the DC, what this is set for means more the higher power level you are, right? But you're going to be less likely to succeed a trained check on a DC on your level, the higher level you are. If you're at level 1, succeeding a train check is going to be easier than succeeding a train check at level 20, right? Because a check on your level. Let me rephrase that. You're going to have an easier time at level 1 meeting a level 1 DC being trained because that's all you can be at level 1 versus at level 20 the DC is going to account for being legendary and having boosted ability scores, right? So if you're trained, hitting a level 20 DC at level 20 is going to be harder than hitting a level 1 DC at level 1.
Yeah.
That makes sense? Because they go up by level, but they also go up by 2 every third level, basically. And I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but what that basically prevents is, again, if a wizard takes training in athletics at level like 20, they're going to have less chance. They're not just going to have a 50% chance because they're trained. The fighter's going to have the better chance than them. And
So much better of a chance.
but at the same time, not automatically succeed, even though they're legendary.
Yeah.
Right. But again, the important thing to remember about this DCs by level is they are a level whatever DC. Climbing a ladder is not a level 5 DC.
Yeah.
Vaulting over a table is not a level 5 DC.
Yeah.
You know?
That's something Eleanor does in her sleep.
Right, exactly. So like keep that in mind. That's what the simple DCs are for. If this is something anyone can do, it's untrained DC 10. If you break it down by the proficiency of what you think it is. That's why the legendary DC is 40, but if you're using the DCs by level, that's also 40, right? Because it expects you to be legendary to meet a level 20 DC. I hope I'm not confusing people. These tables in the book do make sense. It's just you got to understand what they mean.
Well, once again, give a live example. We're level 6. What's an on-level creature for us?
An on-level creature for you. That is a good question.
Dragon.
Let's see if there is a dragon at level 6. Hold
I'm
on.
sorry.
Or I don't even know if, I think technically an average fight for us would be a level 5, wouldn't it?
No,
'Cause
level 6
is-
is
okay.
a moderate encounter, more or less.
Okay.
We could just use I.
What level's I?
All right, so I was a creature 7, right?
Oh,
Okay.
So like that's kind of the on par with you. That's going to be a moderate fight, maybe a step above moderate. This was meant to be a more tough fight for level 5 characters, but it's about the same difficulty for you as a party of 3 being level 6. We've already talked about that
So
balance.
Chester's greatest knowledge skill at this point in time with a magic item is plus 15. I'm pretty sure that's as high as it could be right now.
Yeah.
And is expert with a plus 4 in the ability score. So what would I have to roll in order to know something about I?
Well, see, I is not good for that because he has the
Take away the rare.
yeah. He
We're
has
talking
the,
average creature.
Yeah. Let me.
I's AC is 15, so I'm going to jump over to Chester and look at Chester's 2 hit is plus 15. So that is exactly a 50% chance. No, a little bit better. A 55% chance for Chester to hit if
Exactly.
he rolls a 10.
That's that is by design.
Yes, it's about average.
Yeah. Knowledge isn't a good thing here, specifically because of I's traits. Here's another one. Eleanor, what is your fortitude save bonus at level 6?
Oh, my fortitude is a total of 13, but I don't. Here we go. Proficiency expert, ability bonus plus 3, constitution 16 plus 3,
Yeah.
character level plus 6.
So 13 total.
Yeah.
So his venom is DC 25. So you have a 13 plus 10 on average, right? Is
23. If
Yeah.
you roll a 10, it's a 23.
so you have less than 50% chance to make it.
But that's fair because he's a creature that is a higher level than us.
Yeah, and that's a very strong ability. That only happens on his bite, right?
Yeah.
So that's by design.
And that seems really fair
Yeah.
for the encounter.
Right. So if you're fighting things on your level and you're using your abilities that match that level, right? You're going to have usually between 50% chance to hit or succeed, maybe a little bit greater, maybe a little bit worse on average, right? And when you build out a monster, it gives you the high and low versions of all these things. So yeah, if I built a monster of a certain level and I give it all the high things, that's a little shitty. You shouldn't do that. You
Yeah.
need to have
You have highs and lows.
yeah.
Just like your characters.
But even if you picked all the high ones, it wouldn't be game breaking. It would just be annoying.
Yeah.
And yeah, that basically, as you go up, like all the things you face, and like if we start with level 1, a DC for level 1, right, is 15. But like, let's actually do the math and compare it to 20. At level 1, you're going to have 1 plus 2 for trained. That's 3 plus 4 for your best ability score, right? So that's plus 7. Am I doing the math right?
It's one more time.
1 for level, 2 for trained, 3 plus 4 for your best ability score is 7.
Yes, your typical is +7 at level 1.
Average of 10 on the die is going to make it so that you hit a DC 15 more than half the time.
Yeah.
But only barely more than half the time.
At 10, you should be expert in things. The DC by level for a level 10 task is 27. So level 10 plus 4 for expert is 14, right? And then
You can get up to master at level
master.
7.
At level 7, you're right. So we're doing skill checks. Yeah. So 10 plus 7 is going to be
10 plus 6.
plus 6. My bad. 10 plus 6. Boy, we're bad today.
Yeah.
10 plus 6 is 16 plus
5.
5 because you just had your second ability score boost.
Yep.
Is going to be 21.
Yep.
You can crush a DC 27 check.
Yeah.
At level 20, the level 20 DC level is 40. 20 plus 8 for legendary is 28. Plus 6 for your ability score is 34.
Yes.
So
you'll hit a DC 40 over half the time.
Over half the time. And we're not even accounting for item bonuses.
Items, yeah.
So you can see how the math works. Now, if I tried to hit a trained thing, I'm going to be a lot less successful on average, but I'll still have a chance. Being trained makes it where you have a chance, unless it's very hard, right?
So, long story short, Bridgie P, it works.
And
Trust us.
And there's your 20-minute banter about a rules question. Can you tell we like the rules of this game?
Can you tell that
we like answering questions?
Derek and Jacob enjoy the crunch?
We really do.
But I have to say, the crunch in this game is quite nice because it actually maintains the balance.
Crunch just emphasizes the creamy center of the character.
It's also really nice to come into this game that's very balanced. And we're coming into Pathfinder before it's built out. When we started playing 1E, there was 15 years of content and we didn't know how to play it. So having this fresh start is dope.
Yeah. It was like the Wild West. It was like, ooh, so much fun breaking all the rules.
Oh, man. Speaking of the Wild West, centuries before the Starstone was raised, the Wizard Kings Nex and Geb warred with one another, scarring the land between them into a devastated, unstable magic wasteland. Jacob's getting up to pee. From the glowing ashes of the Mana Waste arose Alkenstar, the city of smog, a metropolis of airships, skyscrapers, factories, and clockwork wonders. The door just closed. To the world, Alkenstar is the pinnacle of innovation and determination in the face of insurmountable odds. On its streets, life in Alkenstar is a non-stop race to stay ahead of the competition. And it is here that a desperate group, hungry for revenge, there's the tinkling, living on the edge of the law.
That's so terrible.
To cast them out.
We're doing this again. Let it go. Let it go. I am one with the storm and sky.
How to end a podcast thing, start singing Disney because they will find you.
They are the outlaws of Alkenstar.
Chester Williams.
Jacob Williams.
Jacob has returned from pissing.
I was very quiet when I left.
No,
except
he
you
kept
did.
going
Yeah.
about you and his
mentioned
peeing
tinkling.
and the tinkling has started. No,
You rat! Rafik! Snitch!
So when we last left our band of adventurers, let's see what happened. You had landed the second kiss in the Spellscar Desert. You had ventured forth towards Tentacle Canyon on your way to the Cradle of Quartz. You met a funny little alien dude.
And
who
we killed him.
You named Squid.
mercilessly slaughtered him.
Again, my notes for him are party meets eye, which was what the book called him. Stand, butt, walk, leg, mousetrap,
butt,
hungry.
You're a little hungry. He puts his fingers together, leans his head down, and looks up. Hungry.
He's just a hungry little guy. You fought Squid, unfortunately, and beat the shit out of him. But he also beat the shit out of Eleanor.
We buried him.
Chester mourned Squid and buried him. Yeah. You climbed out of the dried out riverbed you were in. You found a little sort of open area with the dunes, and this shot rang out of nowhere and hit Isuvu, and you ended up having a fight.
Oh yeah, Usuvu.
Yeah. I rolled for who to hit, and it was not Chester. Asuvu got hit, and you fought this kind of long-ranged gunner. It was a Gnoll with this firearm. It's actually called a piercing wind, so it has like a knife.
Ooh,
That's
that
the-
one's named after Jacob.
It's got a bayonet.
It's actually a combination thing, so it has like a big old bayonet thing on the end of it. He fought you guys pretty hard, and then suddenly and unexpectedly, about round 4 here on his turn, like surrendered to you guys. And that's where we left off with you. He's in front of you. You were doing the traditional, JoJo gang up on him thing. And he surrendered.
What, did he think he could knock us out before we got to him?
Well, I
Because
mean,
he thought wrong
he
with a
was pretty far
swashbuckler.
away, yeah, but you
Yeah.
fast.
I think I also described the gun. Now it's the type of gun is actually called a piercing wind. Like you can look it up on Nethys. It's like a base type of weapon. It had those glowing, faintly gold.
You mean it's based?
Yes, and his eyes were also glowing gold. I will show you again the art of him holding this weapon.
He looks so cool.
He does look pretty cool. He's a Gnoll, not gnome.
It
a
looks
Gnoll.
like his eyes are the same color as the magic on that weapon.
It does. And he has this like long flowing white hair and a white bushy tail.
He's so cute.
White buffy tail.
He doesn't look like a scary Gnoll.
Skirgno.
Gnoll.
I had to say it. Like, is it not how we do this?
Tradition.
Is tradition.
Ooh, a
tradition. It's
Everybody wants to be us.
It's kind of funny. He looks vaguely like a Roman soldier, just with a
Kinda.
gun.
A little bit.
Like a legate.
Yeah, he's got the skirt. He's got armor underneath that looks like it would match. Got a dope desert cloak.
Yeah.
And I
they
love
do.
his pauldron.
Ripped and tore in just the right places.
Until
Make
it is
look
done.
Cool. Rip and tore
He has
until
some like
it is
arm
done.
wraps on, and yeah, that pauldron. He looks pretty dope.
All right.
Coolio.
Well, now that he's
Surrender.
he's got his like weapon in his hands and he's taking a knee, right?
Yeah, he has both hands on the weapon. He's on his knee, and like the weapon's on the ground, like he's kneeling down. And he said, like, I surrender. Please forgive me.
Okay.
Why'd you attack us?
What happened? Yeah.
My apologies. I thought you were bandits.
That's a fair assumption.
Do you have bandit problems around here?
I cannot suffer raiders and bandits to live.
Do you fight for justice?
I just fight the bandits because they are the scum of the Mana Wastes.
Why do you talk like that?
Oh, he's an anti-hero.
Make
Guys,
a
he's a
perception check to
hero.
sense motive.
Oh, hot dog.
Hot
Is he
dog.
hurting so bad he can't talk right?
And for the listening audience, this DC will be set by level.
Perception will be 24.
Is it only
25.
one of us? Because I could roll.
You can roll.
I'll fight you.
Ignore me.
Okay.
It was
Why can we not be teams?
17.
Oh, that's true.
All right, 17. So Chester and Psycheer, both of you notice that he is talking strangely, almost as if someone who is being compelled.
So, like, what's your deal?
I'm going to set my hand under his chin and look in his eyes real deep.
Okay.
Like I'm assessing him.
Please forgive me.
Well, I mean, he's
Can I
polite.
slip my hand from under his chin to his neck to see if his pulse is really rapid? Like, is he freaking out?
I mean, seems to be like he just had a fight, so sure.
Okay.
Chester wants to cast. Let me make sure I have enough actions. Oh, yeah. Detect magic on him.
Okay.
I do it.
That is a good question, because this is going to get into the nitty-gritty of the detect magic
Now,
rules.
I don't know if this heightens automatically. I got it via like a skill feat.
It does.
Oh, then it would be heightened up to 3rd, I believe. So I can learn the School of Magic for the highest blah, blah, blah. If multiple effects, you determine which one I learn. I could actually determine the School of Magic if there's magic.
Yeah, but there's an up to a certain level that you can well, it's not illusion, but still. There's like a thing with illusion where like you can't detect magic to spot illusion if
Unless
it's
it's
above your
lower.
level.
Yeah. Unless it's lower than my level.
Right.
Which I believe this would be 3rd level.
Okay.
I forget Chester actually has spells.
Yes, a spell.
It's an innate spell.
He has spell.
I have spell. I got it from a skill.
Still, though, you got a spell.
Skizzles, I'm part magic.
Eleanor's about as magical as a spoon.
Why don't I blow up every time we fight with my little detect magic? Woo!
Chester fails on his detect
Are
magic.
you ready to meet
Wild
God?
surge and he just
I
farts.
cast detect magic. Boom!
No, you just
So-
fart.
All right.
Oh, Owen.
So this is a little complicated.
Feed me.
You detect pretty strong magic coming from the gun. And you also detect some sort of magic around him a little bit.
Oh.
You can tell that the gun gives off, in terms of traditions, divine and evocation.
Oh. It's a fancy gun you got there. What's up with it?
And off of him, you detect, what is the specifics around, is it just the tradition or is it also the school?
You learn the School of Magic for the highest level effect within range. And let me, but you detect, so I can detect magic is normal. Just magic. Nothing about it. Just the presence of magic or the absence of magic. And with heightened third, I can learn the School of Magic.
I pick up the gun.
He won't let it go.
I thought it was on the ground.
No, he's holding it with both hands on the ground as he's kneeling.
Oh, okay.
To say that he won't shoot us.
Yeah.
I need you to let this go.
I need it. I cannot relinquish it. So
Why?
Off the gun, I told you what you pick up. But you detect off of him. It's not like, it's almost like something that has been cast on him. The traditions are arcane and occult, so that's the list that this appears on. And the school is enchantment.
There's an enchantment effect on this guy. Hey, why don't you think we're still bandits? All we did was kick your butt.
I've seen many bandits here, and you don't fit the type.
Oh,
You look like adventurers.
isn't that sweet? We're not bandits.
Eleanor's like, well, I would be offended if I were to be thought a bandit for long. She's had to take y'all's word on the fact that something's going on because her check totally missed it.
The only other thing I'll give you with the detect magic is that there seems to be some sort of link between the gun and him.
Let it go. Let the gun go.
I can't.
Why can't you?
It belongs to me. It is my task
What task is that?
to hunt the bandits of the Man Waste to prevent their scum from harming innocent people.
Who gave you this task?
It is one that I have taken upon myself.
So, like, can't you do that without the gun? Why do you need the gun to do that?
No, I need this weapon. It is my duty to carry it and use it to destroy all bandits. I cannot accomplish it without this weapon.
You see, I find that suspicious. What's your name?
My name is Palzu.
Where are you from, Palzu?
I'm from a tribe in the Man Wastes.
When did you get this want to hunt bandits?
I saw what they did to innocent people. And this is again like, it looks like his face kind of glazes over again. And I could not allow it to continue.
Chester will look at Saikir and Eleanor. Y'all got anything else?
Eleanor is utterly confused.
Chester, why don't you roll me? Don't you have academia lore or anything related to Arcana?
I have Arcana and, hold on, let me get back up to skills. I have Academia Lore and Arcana.
Roll me Arcana, specifically.
24, 12 on the die.
Are you, and you're trained? Or
I
expert?
am trained.
Okay. So while your detect magic as a spell I feel like it can only give you kind of the high overview of what is magical and the bits and bobs of it. With your Arcana kind of combined with the detect magic innate spell you have, you can tell that like this isn't like a magic gun that has runes and like, oh, it can do fire or it can do this. Something's up with this gun. And with your academia lore, I'll say that like you've heard that sometimes weapons can have like personalities.
Oh, is the weapon keeping him enthralled?
Chester will whisper this to Saikir and Eleanor, and he'll be like, did you get this urge to protect innocents after you touched that gun? Where'd you find that gun?
I found it in a caravan that had been destroyed by raiders.
By you?
And it's like he short circuits a little bit. And just like,
Oh, he is possessed. That gun's possessing
Yes.
him. That gun's one of them smart guns, and it's making him do its bidding. Now, its bidding,
It's a gun spirit.
It's bidding, I suppose, ain't too bad if it's hunting down raiders and protecting the innocents, but that dude's possessed. Oh, I'm sorry. I should talk to you. I shouldn't talk like you're not here. You are hella possessed by that gun.
yes.
Yes.
Oh, well, all right.
More so, and Psychier lowers their head to kind of talk towards the gun. Who are we addressing specifically? Who's in control right now, and who is making the conscious effort to speak to us?
Make a diplomacy
Is it-
check.
is it
Cypher.
Talks to the gun.
Is it an as up here or an as down here kind of situation? Chester will try to assist.
Okay.
Oh, let me try to assist.
Yeah, roll diplomacy to assist.
I have more diplomacy.
26.
Never mind.
I mean, you could also do it.
I thought we both couldn't assist.
I mean, you can still do it.
Well, that's much better. If it means anything, I got a 17.
28.
Total?
I only have a +3 in diplomacy. It's one of
Oh.
the skills I'm going to add too soon.
Oh, my
So,
diplomacy is better than yours.
28. Mm-hmm. And then what was yours?
17.
17?
26.
Right, so that 28 plus 1,
29.
29. Okay, cool. So what's going to happen is like he'll stand up from kneeling, but his like head will go back and his eyes will roll back a little bit, and he'll like hold the gun in both hands forward, not like pointing it, but like outstretched, and like his voice changes, almost otherworldly, and you hear, "My name was Jax." But it's kind of weird because it's coming through his throat, so he can't really be more feminine. I was a caravan guard, and on one day, this Gnoll and his pack mates met us in battle, sieging our merchant caravan. They left no survivors, but my spirit clinged to my weapon, and when this low being took it, I took him, and I had him slaughter his entire pack, and I have used him ever since to hunt down his bandit kind, his raiders of this land, so that other innocents do not fall.
This is
Dang.
a big moral conundrum.
I'm fine with it.
But she had him slaughter his pack.
I mean, his pack did kill his, like, entire caravan, so I guess tit for tat, tick for talk. That's an app.
So what do you guys do?
Chester's neutral. He's fine. I mean, he's killing bad people. Hey, do me a favor. You see a lady come through here looking all fancy like with like vows and stuff? Got some like other thing. Don't go after her. They ain't bandits.
You describe your mom?
I do.
Okay.
Mom is not bandit.
Her name's Mom. Don't hurt her.
Mama's not a bandit.
I will not kill mom.
Good. Do you ever see that while you're debating the morals?
Yeah, I'm sitting here
Chester's
debating it
making
too.
small talk.
Jax, do you not think it's time to move on?
Move on. I have a task now. I have turned this one who slew me into the ultimate punishment to make him slay the others who would harm the innocence of the Mana Wastes. Anyone who wields me must follow that task. So now, Chester, pairing that with your detect magic, I'm slowly revealing this item. If ever used to attack an innocent traveler, or in Jax's opinion, the attack should be considered banditry, the weapon automatically misfires. If Jax witness innocent be killed or harmed, she empathetically urges her wielder to avenge the victim. If the wielder does not comply, Jax attempts to cast Dominate below. Even if the Dominate spell fails, Jax withholds all magical abilities, including the +1 weapon potency and striking rune, until the wielder redeems themselves.
So, like, this gun, if it were to attack innocent people, it'd be like, hey, don't do that. And if you weren't to listen to it, it'd dominate you. And, like, if it still didn't work, it'd just stop being magical.
It is
So then what happens because it attacked us?
magic. In terms of item stuff, it's an item 8, and it has the cursed and intelligent traits.
I would assume that because it thought we weren't innocent, it could attack us, and then it realized we were innocent.
I thought you were bandits.
Yeah, but then once it realized we weren't, he would no longer attack us because he's in total control.
It's like I just looked. Eleanor is also neutral. She should be okay with it, but it seems like quite the moral conundrum.
Jax, we are adventurers seeking the means to completely eliminate the corruption within Alkenstar. Namely, a thieving lawman and a corrupt deputy. Would you
Eleanor
be
spits.
interested in working with us?
What do you consider innocent? Like
And
if
what do you consider corrupt?
Like if... Never mind. I'm not going to say that. Like if a person came running at me with a knife, could I defend myself using you? Or would you be like, that person's innocent, they're just confused and coming at you with a knife?
I care more about the quest than the individual action. Though, if innocents were harmed, if you were to attack someone, or if you were to see someone unjustly gunned down and not avenge them, then I would not stand it.
I don't want it. I'm not a fan of people being unjustly gunned down, but you can't always fight them the moment it happens. You do have to have some patience and sneak up on them.
Like I said, this is a cursed item.
Yeah.
It is very powerful, but it is also cursed.
How much is it worth?
Sounds hella cursed.
It doesn't have a value.
Oh, okay.
I'm not even tempted because guns really aren't Eleanor's thing.
Oh, Chester could use a gun, but honestly, I
already have
like
striking and
my
potency.
gun better.
Do we need to take this gun and put it somewhere where it can't be found?
I'll say it like this. As far as items are concerned, Chester doesn't want it. But Chester also has no qualms about just letting it go. I mean, he ain't hurting innocent people. He hunting down
Chester-
raiders.
Are a very interesting spirit, Jax. But I do have to say, is yours not the most heinous theft of all? You have stolen this one's mind.
I consider it a fair trade, an eye for an eye. He stole my life, I stole his.
He right, you know.
Chester's not. Chester has proven himself to be okay with retribution.
I mean, you guys do understand revenge.
Oh, let me ask you this. This is an important one. Do you kill every gnoll you see without hesitation, or do you make sure they're raiders first?
This is speciesist.
Are you a
Is it
racist
canist?
ghost?
I will say that I have not seen any adventurous gnolls. They usually hunt in packs with a hunt mistress, and they usually worship Lamashtu and leave such trinkets behind.
I mean, you're not wrong, but what if you were to fight a pack and find out they were innocent?
That would suck, bro.
The anachronism.
That'd suck, bruh.
I would feel like I do with you, that I right now. It would be a mistake.
Could Psycheer even, exorcise said weapon? Is that even possible?
I mean, we could just take it.
Then wouldn't the Gnoll try to kill us?
I mean, we'd just kill the gnoll. At that point, it'd just be a regular gnoll. What's it gonna do?
Give us mana fever?
We're level 6.
Jax, I have a question.
Yes.
Could we speak with this gnoll?
If I relinquish control over him, he will attack or flee.
Is it not possible that we could reason with him?
No, I couldn't. At the end of a gun. And he'll be full of nothing but rage after having years of his life taken away.
Is this years?
Dang.
How long you been doing this?
5 years.
Wow, that's long. Is this gnoll mutated?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, it's not a mutant.
Well, I'm cool with letting him go, but if we want to, take her, we could do that. This is Chester. This is not my decision. Chester still has his
Would
weapon
you want
out,
to
by the way.
adventure with us?
Oh,
Oh, bring the mind-controlled Gnoll with us?
yeah, that's an idea.
Well, where are you headed?
We are headed to the Cradle of Quartz.
That way.
To uncover more corruption.
I have never been in the temple, but I have seen it.
Oh, really?
Could you perchance lead us to it?
I could.
We would be most appreciative.
I can lead you there, but my task is to hunt the bandits of the Manawace and bring some sense of justice here. I'm not sure it would behoove me to go in and fight whatever cave-bound nonsense is there.
It's just a metal sphinx.
That is not my task. but I can take you there.
If we let him take us there, him,
Jax.
her, they?
Jax is her. I mean, you could just say they. Palzu is him.
Yeah, okay. So if we let them take us there, we
They're
could
plural.
get like a wrangle on their personality and see what they're like, and then make a decision.
We're having a huddle away from.
Chester will
Gnoll.
talk right over his head. We do have him kind of still on his knees at our mercy. Well, I'm just going to say, if we want to take the gun from him, we'll probably have to kill the Gnoll first.
Would it not be a mercy?
I mean, for the Gnoll, but not for Jax. All right, team, what are we doing? Ow.
You know, Chester, I happen to know a homestead that, from what you've said, frequently gets interacted with by raiders that could use a cunning marksman.
Send Palzu to the farm.
Ransack here hate Jax.
Afterwards.
What if I told you
Derek is laying back in his chair, defeated.
Derek looks exasperated. Jax, what if I were to tell you that I knew a place in the Manaways or on the verge of it, edge of it, that is attacked by bandits, you know, not super often, but often enough that if you stayed there, you'd be able to protect those people.
He would be able to.
I could protect the innocents.
Yeah, it's my mama's farm. See, my dad used to live there, and he would help her take care of the bandits. Not that she needed the help, but like help is always wanted. And they're on the edge of the farmlands, like the very edge where Alkenstar is to the Manaways. And so they get attacked by like mutants and bandits and all them
And gnolls.
and weird aliens and
We've sent
giants and
all the
snakes.
underleveled innocents we've met there.
And they're always looking for people to help and to help them out. So, you know, you take us to the Cradle of Quartz and you promise to go to my mama's homestead. We could let you go and you could do some good there.
You could even help teach a few misled young characters who
That's
Could
right.
have become bandits.
We sent someone there who was an idiot trying to be an adventurer. He don't know how to be one. You can help him out.
Sure.
Is this Derek speaking, not Jax?
Yes. I'm so defeated.
because that's in
In
line
which-
with Jax's personality.
In which Chester sends practically everyone to the farm. It's not Outlaws of Alkenstar. It's who goes to the farm.
I guess that if my travels could take me there, it would be a good place to guard against the evils of the Mana Wastes.
Absolutely. You love the people there.
I do.
So,
Not to mention, there would always be a hefty selection of bodies should this Gnoll pass.
that's fair.
He will not pass.
Undead,
Are
no.
you-
Undead, no.
Is he undead?
No, he's not undead.
If that Gnoll were to die, could you
The
possess
gun
his
is just
body?
badass.
Oh, that's fair. What an idea, Sakir. You take us to the Cradle of Quartz and you go to my mama's farm.
Sure.
Listen, you'll
Be
love it there.
excited.
I am so excited to
Derek,
go to
Derek,
the
be
farm.
excited.
You'll get to kill all the raiders you want.
Don't like having to add people to the Chester's Farm tab in my OneNote. It's getting long.
Listen, it's mostly all people from the
I'm
adventure
surprised.
path.
I'm surprised Chester didn't try to bury his friend at his mother's farm when we buried Al.
Oh,
It's
no,
not what
Al's
Al
got
would
his own
want.
stuff.
He has a
No,
plot
Al would have
point.
wanted his own thing,
Yeah.
but still.
Chester knows that.
Al gets scattered into the wind
Listen.
because nobody cares about his wishes.
Chester's family farm ain't for everybody. He knows that. It's just most people are welcome.
So since we've kind of decided what you're going to do here, I'm going to share with you what this actual item is because I just think it's so cool.
Uh-huh.
I really hope you would.
So this is the gun is a +1 striking fearsome piercing wind. Whose driving purpose is to protect the innocent travelers in the spell-scarred desert from raiders, bandits, and cultists.
I looked up piercing wind and it instantly said Pathfinder
when you
2E.
critically hit with this weapon, target becomes frightened. That's nice.
It has 2
interesting.
special abilities. 2 action activate. Once per day, you can get Jax to cast Heroism on you. 2 action activate. Once per day, Jax deems you unworthy of Agent of Justice, etc., etc. It goes through the whole what happens if, like, Jax says, all right, you're not doing what I want.
It's awesome.
Isn't that pretty dope?
It's cool.
This is actually, I wanted to show it because this is the first time I've ever seen in the things I've run, not only a cursed item, but an intelligent item.
You have had another cursed item.
No, not cursed, intelligent.
Okay.
Yeah, an intelligent cursed item. This is a first. I think that we have had exactly one other cursed item, though.
We had one cursed item,
Yes.
and it got Jacob real bad.
Real bad.
Real bad. It was
A ring of
regenerate in 1E.
It was. I thought it was a ring of regenerate that we got at like level 4, and I didn't. I never questioned it a single time.
You found it in a magic witch tower.
Yep.
What happened was I rolled a natural 20, and that was the only way I could have gotten the misleading.
Yeah, so the way it worked, at least the way I remember having to rule the identify worked, because there was one DC to figure out it was a cursed item and another DC to figure out it was like Ring of Regenerate.
Yes.
So if you failed it, you wouldn't know. But if you made it but didn't like cross
Make it
over
high enough.
in the high enough, you would just think it's a Ring of Regenerate. And that's exactly what happened. What it actually was is a cursed ring that made it so you didn't get any hit points back or something like
and
that.
I would bleed if I got hit.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yep.
This is a dope item.
No,
and
I
I
don't-
love that it's lawful neutral.
I don't take bleeding. You take bleeding.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah. That was conversation.
And Derek, 'cause I put on the ring. It took a while for my character to get hit, and Derek hit me, and I was like, and you start bleeding, because the bleeding also came from the creature, I believe. I was like, oh, I have a ring of regeneration. I'm not bleeding. You're bleeding. I'm not bleeding.
You're bleeding.
Jacob, you're bleeding.
The deer in the
I
headlights
have a
look.
ring of regeneration. I'm not bleeding. It says no, Jacob.
I know.
Look at me. You're bleeding. And I was like,
Jacob was salty.
it was a good time.
It was a very good time.
It was a very good time.
Cursed items are great if you don't find out about them sometimes.
Yes, they are. Oh,
Anyway, so Jax and Palzu will accompany you now.
we got a new friend.
And it's actually, so it's kind of late afternoon at this point. You have some more traveling to do. They'll follow you. Now you have a party of 5 with Usuvu and Jax.
Or is it 6?
Yeah.
Because Palzu is technically a member of this.
Yeah.
It's 5 and one
Parasitic
enemy who
relationship.
can't say no.
Yeah.
And then send them to Chester's mom's farm.
Is it because we know that Chester's mom would keep it in wraps?
Yeah. And she does, their farm does get, it's not like an everyday occurrence, but their farm does get attacked. They're on the edge of the farmland between the city and the Metwist.
But yeah, so you start traveling again. I think you make about 20 miles total today, and you have to find a place to camp down. But it's not like Forbidden Lands, so I'm not going to have you roll to make
Don't we camp out like pretty close to where we need to be? You said that last time we were playing, that if we were to travel and not get too distracted, we'd end up very close to our destination.
You're very close. It's still going to take a little bit more time.
Okay.
But you're looking for a place to camp out, and you actually come across another thing I want to take you to here.
Do I need to roll to lead the way?
Oh, memories. Forbidden Lands.
No, we might get a mishap. Ants! Ants!
So it's now like evening. You guys are going through. You find another canyon on your way, and Palzu / Jax is leading you. Ahead, dozens of stone pillars stand, 20 feet high and irregularly shaped. They all share the same layering pattern of sediment, indicating that they're all that remains of a riverbed that once filled this canyon. Eroded by wind and flash floods, some of the pillars seem carved almost intelligently, no doubt by the strange action of the mana storms that scour the landscape. And these are hoodoos. In fact, this feels like a part of the actual Tentacle Canyon, because some of these hoodoos in this field, these tall, like winding, twirly rocks, look like tentacles. And it's getting late.
I want to emphasize just how cool it is that the hoodoos are blocking our vision path. So our vision path is like this big splat.
Yeah.
And it is getting late. You're thinking that it might be good to like set up here because you could make camp under one of these things.
Should we camp on the top of one of them?
It would be really hard to climb
Yeah.
up. And
No,
there's
it
not
wouldn't.
always a lot of space on them
Not for
either.
Psycheer.
Oh my god, Psycheer. Drow getting climbing abilities. makes things complicated.
Oh, you complain about that now, yet you let them have fly at level 1 and 5e?
Listen, I was bullied.
Bullied, you're the DM, say no!
I'm also their spouse. Bullied.
Bullied by the person who you share a home
Every
with.
combat trivial, because they just couldn't get hit for levels.
I go.
Hilarious.
So irritating.
And
tried
there's
to
no
bully
flying rules in
Should-
5e.
Should we really camp here, though? Because there's a lot of blind spots.
That's what I'm afraid
The
of.
thing is, it's like starting to get dark.
Okay.
We need to camp.
Well, then I guess we have no choice, DM.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should keep watches.
Here's what I would like to do. I would like to propose the idea. I have an idea.
A proposal?
Let's make it official, Chester.
No.
I'm rather uncomfortable when you act like this. Are you two actually a thing?
No. I don't know what's happening.
We've been married 15 years. Today's the anniversary, actually.
What? That's anniversary.
I think that we should have one person on top of the rock formations as a lookout.
I agree. That's a smart idea.
I will go up, take first watch, and tie off a rope.
Is there any particular rock formation that suits your fancy on this map?
Perhaps one that's not too high?
That one.
All right. Situate yourselves and let someone take watch. Or can you? You can walk under them. Look at that. Look at the
Wait,
foundry map.
really?
Yeah.
I can't. It's I will collide with a wall if I try to walk under.
See, look a psych here.
Oh, you can. No,
Hot to dog.
you can walk slightly under it.
This foundry map's dope.
This is dope. But that just you can walk underneath it until you hit the actual base of it.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Can you put Psyche on top of the rock?
I can. Oh, nope, I can't.
Psyche is under the rock.
Well, let's just pretend Psycheer's on top of the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, put
I
Psyche
guess
here where
doesn't
Chester
matter.
is.
And I'll, secure the rope around the second topmost layer.
All right. Everyone make me some perception checks as you start to settle down.
Is this initiative?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah. Finally, roll good.
18.
18.
19.
Eleanor?
29.
Ooh!
29.
But if this is combat, I want it after you.
Okay.
I think you
Suva
could
got
just-
a 21. And then, why don't I just roll for Pazu?
Derek
Because,
loves
like,
playing against
If
himself.
it's combat related stuff, I also get +2, but I think that gets added once we find out it's combat.
You guys start to settle down. Yeah, maybe you're getting stuff ready to make a campfire. Eleanor's starting to loosen up bits of the armor. When
Chester has dark vision.
Chester has dark. Okay, good to know. Thanks.
It is a player standard. You must remind the DM that you have dark vision.
I'm sure Paizu does too.
In fact, Psycheer,
Palsy.
Oh,
You call him
you
Paizu.
called him Paizu?
I did.
Yeah, Paizo.
Yeah, Paizo.
Oh, your
yes.
favorite
You know.
companion, Paizo.
You know, our delightful possessed Gnoll, Jason Knollman.
That was delightful, Drow.
Well,
paths.
you're sitting on top of the Hoodoo
He has the
Psycheer,
paths.
and all of a sudden you just out of nowhere you see a form just come out of the Hoodoo and goes
Out
to
of
attack
the
you.
Hoodoo?
And it looks like this.
Oh,
It's a rock
shit.
thing. It looks
That
like
is-
those things in Sea of Thieves.
it's okay.
The ones I hate because they're hard to
looks
take
like
down.
it's a golem made of clay, but with obsidian arms
And-
and no head where it has sand pouring off of it.
It looks like an hourglass almost.
And it's got spots on it that look shockingly like blood.
Well, what I like is the sand pouring off of it is conveniently placed where a loincloth would be.
It looks like a loincloth and a scarf and a cape.
This is
Exactly. It's like the sand pouring off as it's clothes.
dope. Hey,
Why don't we use those perception scores for initiative?
my
Actually, I want to keep
plus
mine since I
13
did
is
well.
19, 20, 21.
21 for Chester.
Yeah.
Psycheer, yours was 20 what?
18.
18? Okay.
I
And
love
then
this thing's
Eleanor?
name.
29.
33? Yeesh.
It don't matter what we roll.
You should have rolled stealth.
Actually, I could actually if you want me to, but I don't
Were
think you
you
want me
not
to.
sneaking up on? Oh,
You already rolled a 33.
Yeah, you already rolled a 33.
If you're curious, the DC you had to beat was 30. There's a special ability called Stand Still.
Oh,
well, then
man.
that's not really stealth.
If I wanted to get that, I had to roll a natural 20.
Yeah.
Because I rolled a 19 to get 29.
That's a roughin'. Oh boy.
Well, it is time to rock and roll. Oh boy. Well, you're lucky. That 35 was for Palzu, your new pal, Paizo the Jason Bullman, the Wolfman.
Wouldn't his initiative has
Nolman.
been his original one?
What do you mean?
Wouldn't his have been a 23?
Oh, you are right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just rolled them automatically.
Usuvu's also would actually
21.
be 21.
Oh, perfect. Haha. The mind is melted.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
so it is the animated dude's turn. This animated hoodoo springs to life. Now, where this map's going to get a little funky because I can't actually put Psyche on top of the hoodoo. Because it's just a wall. It's not an actual thing on the map. So it's not going to go for Psyche because Psyche is above it. It's going to descend and it's going to pick on some of you.
Mr. Palzu.
Well, we got a
Pick
couple
on
of you.
Eleanor.
I'm going to roll a d4.
I bet there's going to be more than one of these things.
It's actually going to attack Palzu. 3 on the d4.
No.
I love fighting myself. It's my favorite.
I do love it when the DM fights themselves. It's hilarious.
He is going to... Boy. He is going to do some
Or girl.
stuff. He's going to smack Palzu
Ow.
real hard.
I mean, only if he hits.
Sure.
Oh, he's going to hit.
He hits.
That was
Critically.
16.
Oh.
Look at how much addition
Hey.
he gets.
No.
Fun
Jesus.
fact. So Palzu's going to take a total of
34
points of damage.
Holy
And because when he hits with his fist on the critical, a whole bunch of sand comes off of it, and Palzu is going to be blinded.
That's bad.
This is real bad. Did we heal up after that? We should have.
Wait, I am not fully healed.
You can go ahead
well.
and heal yourselves up. I'm sorry, we can hand wave this. This
Okay.
happens after every fight, and it's been hours.
Yes.
And it usually only takes you an hour to do your checks.
Oh, hell, the great and merciful DM.
You're gonna
I'm going
need
to
it.
need my hit points.
You're gonna need it.
I know. If he hits Chester like that, oh boy.
I can only do my best damage at melee. That's what
he's
my
going to
class
spend
is
his
for.
second action to burrow. He's going to move down through the hoodoo and pop up behind Chester.
Am I still on top of him?
No, you're not on top of him. So it says animated hoodoo, but it's more like this guy kind of morphs out of the hoodoo,
It was part of the hoodoo.
and he's going to punch Chester.
Done. Please.
Don't have to be.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, that's a netty 19.
That's
Oh, no.
That's certainly.
33.
That's a actually, hold on. I might have something turned on.
I think you have your Eagle Eye elixir from last combat turned on.
My Drakenheart.
Or not Eagle Eye, yeah, Drakenheart mutagen. What's your AC?
21. That's a crit.
That's a critical hit. Chester, you're going to take
Oh, and you rolled so high on the dice.
6 points of damage.
Oh my god.
Is this a TPK?
Big damage. Oh, no.
Remember what we said about
Power
the
level.
fear of death?
No.
It's something you mention until you're terrified you're going to lose your character.
And that's its turn.
Already.
Yep. Next in the order is going to be Eleanor.
Eleanor is going to attempt to. She's going to move past and
Psyche's not there, technically.
yeah, try to tumble through such that she lands in a flanking position.
Reflex DC for me, right?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay.
This thing's so
'Cause
chunky, it shouldn't have a good reflex.
We say all the time, Chester always has his whip.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not drawn right now, but technically speaking,
Yeah, because you guys were about to make camp.
yeah.
I guess I can use a movement to draw my weapon first.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
I'll use a movement to draw an action to draw my weapon. My acrobatics roll was a 31,
That's a success.
and now I'm going to attack with panache.
And finisher?
Yes.
Ooh.
Boy.
Please hit.
I'm
and
really
it'll
hoping
be
I hit.
flat-footed to you, right?
Yes, it is flat-footed,
Hell yeah.
and that got me panache.
Don't forget to go to the other side of it.
Yes, now that I actually successfully got there. Anyway, let's attack.
Remember, bottle caps reset next episode.
Hero
Yeah.
points.
Or not, yeah. Boy.
But no,
I'm sorry.
you can't take my hero,
Is
my
Chester
bottle cap.
blind, or does he get a fortitude save?
You are also blind. My bad. Thank you for remembering. That happens on a crit. It's only one round.
I'm blinded.
Okay, I
And
attack.
I'm blinding. I'm blinding.
Hate everything.
Buttercup or hero point.
I'm looking to see if I have one. Hold on, please.
What'd you get on your die?
A 7.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking to see if I have a hero point. I don't think I do.
Do you have any bottle caps still?
I do have one, and I'm highly debating using just one. I have 2. Let me make sure. Yeah, I'm out of hero points. Bottle capping it.
All right, mark her down. Hopefully this bumps it up.
Bottle caps.
Please bump it up. Please bump it up.
Bottle caps.
No, I got a 1 on the bottle cap. So, do I have to take that roll, or is that
Yes.
hero points?
That's how hero. Well, we use bottle caps as hero
I
points.
hate everything.
Unfortunately, that's not going to hit.
Don't forget to put Eleanor on the other side.
Yeah, I gotcha. But you will go ahead and do your.
I will do
damage.
I'll bet you anything. It's got DR.
Yeah.
Half of my precise strike.
Yes.
I'm pissed. I lost a bottle cap over that.
Oh man, I was hoping it would land.
That would have been a game changer for our combat. 10 is 4. I mean 5. 5 damage.
It does look like it all goes through.
I'm still salty. I am out of actions now too.
Yep. That'll be your turn. It's Palzu's turn.
Everything is awful.
Palzu is blinded this round, which means he can't see.
Does
But
the
he has
gun?
dark vision.
Does the gun need to see?
Yes.
Yeah.
Aw.
So what he'll do is he'll draw gun.
And fire it off randomly. Shoot
just-
from the hip.
They'll draw themselves.
Yes. No. The Palzu will draw jacks, but will not act otherwise, and just that'll be their turn. But he will no longer be blinded.
No potions or anything.
Nope. All right. But that'll be their turn. And then when it comes back around, they won't be blinded. Chester Williams, you are also blinded. Hold on. Are you sure you can move so easily while blinded?
Doesn't say you can't move.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to take this back. Go back to Palzu's turn since it was just yours. Actually, it's not even your turn.
Well, all terrain is difficult terrain, so I can still move, but it's just difficult.
So Suva goes before you, I think. Actually, no, you both have the same initiative. Never mind. So you can go. But I'm going to have him use Jax's 2-action ability to cast Heroism.
Oh, nice. Heroism's nice.
So we'll get to do that real quick.
So it is my turn.
It is. Let me, for anyone who doesn't know what Heroism is, you tap into their target's innate heroism, granting it a +1 status bonus to attack rolls, perception checks, and saving throws and skill checks. So you just get a +1 on a lot of stuff. All right, so yeah, Chester, what do you want to do?
Is it heightened to another level? Or is
Yeah.
it just the +1?
It's heightened.
Is it more than a +1?
Oh, good question. You know what? I take that back because it's just +1. My bad. It is not heightened.
Okay,
I
cool.
misread it.
Chester's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and stay right there because he is blinded and can only move 10 feet.
Okay.
Chester will then pull out a Draken Heart Elixir and drink it.
Because you got hit real hard.
If I had that on, it would not have been a critical. That being said, there's still a high chance Chester's going to get criticaled. Because this thing hits really hard.
It's Usuvu's turn. Usuvu is going to move to flank it with Eleanor.
Go, Isubu.
Trick attack, draw the kukri,
Yes.
and make a strike.
Yes, hit Suvu.
We believe in you.
Oh, thank you, Suvu.
Oh my god.
That's a
Natty
19
19.
on the die for
And
a
it's
total of...
flat-footed.
It is flat-footed, total of 34. Fun fact,
Is she critical?
it is a critical because of the flat-footed.
But it's not susceptible to criticals.
No, it can take critical.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
gotta
I just
stab.
probably won't roll one.
You just gotta stab the right rock.
It's really funny because that's the one of the things we had the hardest time with when we went to Pathfinder First Edition, where you can critical elementals, but 3.5 you could not.
24 points of damage.
I think.
Good job, Usuvu. She's got makeup for my slack.
Okay. Hotted of the dog variety.
Of the dog variety?
Of the cat
okay.
variety.
Oh, hot
Boy.
cat.
Suvu is doing the work.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is going to be her turn. Move, trick attack, stab.
No, fun fact, elementals in
tried.
First Edition were not subject to critical hits or flanking.
Interesting.
I'm glad they are in this one.
All right, Psyche here. I have you on the map here, but it's not entirely accurate where you're positioned, so I'm going to move you there to represent you being on top of the hoodoo.
On the
You're going
top
about
of the rock, looking
30 feet up in the
down
air.
at the combat.
What do you want to do?
See if I explode.
Oh, yeah, explosion.
I explode.
You explode!
I explode.
Hot dog!
But not the good Kamehameha type.
Well, I mean, it could be good.
Roll me a d20.
Ooh, I hope this is either really, really good or really, really bad. I rolled a 5 and then I rolled a 20.
You roll twice and get to pick, right?
What are
Okay,
they?
okay, hang on.
Oh, you got a 5 to explode.
I got
and
a
then-
5 to explode.
Okay.
And I rolled a 20. And I rolled an 8. What are the options?
Yeah, because you have the
I was
Wellspring
excited.
control. When you generate a Wellspring Surge, roll twice. Yes, so 20 and 8.
Yeah.
20 is Spell Surge. You immediately cast any spell in your repertoire of the Surge's spell level or lower from your prepare spells, blah, 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 blah. If you don't have this repertoire, forced to generate a Wellspring Surge, you must choose a spell that takes 3 or fewer actions to cast. So you can do that as 20. Basically, you immediately cast a spell, basically for free. And 8 is Oppressive Voice. The voice of your muse, your deity, an ancestor, or another appropriate entity suddenly overwhelms your mind. You've had this one before. You must attempt a will saving throw. Take 1d4 mental damage. Basic will save. On a failure, also stunned, or stunned 2 on a
I
critical failure.
wonder what they're gonna pick.
Do I want to cast a free spell or do I want to get fucked up?
Obviously 8.
Yes. Let's see.
We
So
said-
what's the level of this thing then?
I'm looking at that.
Okay.
Oh, of the Surge's
free spell is
Wouldn't the
nice.
Surge's spell level just be your spell level because the Surge comes from you?
Yeah, but like Psyche can cast a number of different
Spell
Well, it
ranks.
says the Surge's spell level or lower, so it just means
Yeah.
any spell.
So I am
Yeah,
out
sure.
my 2nd and 3rd level spells right now.
But you also you don't get one back because you failed the flat check.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I just need to leave the combat and then come back in. See ya.
But you don't have to have them prepared, right?
Nope.
Yeah, you get a freebie.
Anything in your spell repertoire? Let me double check that real quick.
No, it's in your repertoire or from prepared or innate spells if you don't have a repertoire but have been forced to generate a Wellspring Surge. So yes, any spell in your repertoire.
Sick. I mean, I think I know what I'm gonna do.
What you gonna do?
Probably the fucking Inner Radiance Torrent.
The
But it said
version.
3 at.
3 action. one.
Oh, you can do a 3
Yeah,
action
that one
version.
has multiple
Yes.
versions.
All right, so what do I roll for that? Reflex?
Will I get hit?
No,
Probably
they're
not
up
because I'm
top.
up.
Oh, you're up high. You could angle it down,
In a hunting stand. Gow.
just like in a hunting
So
stand.
that's 4d4.
4d4, and then basic reflex. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Here comes the reflex. I do have a very good reflex. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Ignore this one. I was hovering over Palzu. This guy's reflex is good,
Can't we keep the roll of 8?
but not that good. You know what? Sure. We rolled an 8. 8 plus 14 is going to be
Jesus.
22.
22.
Hang on. I think that just makes the regular save. Yes, it just makes the regular save.
So half damage.
Yes, so half damage.
Sweet.
Usuvu's about to get wrecked.
Or me?
Or you. Both probably.
I needed that attack.
Oh, that was a good roll though.
All right, so half of 14 points of damage
7.
is going to be 7. Mm-hmm. Sweet.
But that was a nice freebie spell.
Yep. All free.
How far away is he from me?
Let's see.
20.
He's 30 feet up in the air. He's what? 10, 15 feet away on the ground. So some Pythagoras math here.
It's 20 squared plus 15 squared.
I got a calculator. I'm not thinking about this right now. About 35-ish feet, roughly speaking in game terms.
That's plenty. Oh yeah, free spell. Now it's just your turn. It's free damage.
Okay, so haunting him is a 15-foot cone. If I lower myself just a little bit, can I catch him on the very last part of the cone if we're thinking three-dimensionally?
No, you're going to have to climb down to use
If you're
your cone.
thinking three-dimensionally, it would still hit Usuvu too.
Wouldn't it be
the
like 5
cones-
feet up?
It would be like it's a 15-foot cone, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be 15 foot to left and right and 15 foot up and down.
Yeah, and I mean to catch him on the very bottom part of it.
But that would also catch
So
you.
I'm going to say you have to climb all the way down to use it, because if you're climbing, you're going to have to face the rock. So if you want to do it, you have to get on the ground.
How high up am I?
30 feet.
I thought we were only 20 foot tall.
I said 30 feet at the beginning.
He did.
I did. The
Okay.
riverbed was 20 foot high.
Okay.
When I fall, I only take half the normal damage and I don't land prone.
But it's half of the. Isn't the damage you take half the distance you fall?
Do you
or is
have
that
cat
forbidden
fall?
lands?
I have land on your feet, which is an ancestry feature for being a catfolk.
Hot dog.
So fun fact, falling, when you fall more than 5 feet, you take bludgeoning damage equal to half the distance you fell when you
Yep.
land.
Falling damage is a lot more stringent in 2E.
So that would be 15 points of damage. You would take half of that, which would be 7, right?
Yes.
It's still going to cost a move to get down there, but if you want to fall and just tank it, you can do that.
Yes.
All right, you're going to jump like a cat off of a cat tree.
I get all puffy
Leans
and
back
then I jump it.
Do you do the thing where you like test the jump 2 or 3 times? Oh, question. Does Psycheer land on 2 feet or all 4s?
Their head.
You land on your head. Thunk, scream.
I just get launched. Yeah. I want to use an action
All right.
to get right there.
If you want to fall more than just right here on the map, which is adjacent to Isuvu, I'm going to need some sort of check to make it further.
To jump.
To jump. Yeah, a jump, basically.
Okay. Sure.
Jump wah. Do it.
Owen Jumpwa.
Yeah, so
Oh,
we'll
and
call
jump.
this...
Psycheer Jumpwa.
We'll call this a action jump.
That would be athletics.
Would it be
Well, it's not a
acrobatics
long
instead?
jump.
It's not a long one, is it?
Is this not a long jump?
A long jump will be 2 actions.
And they would have the hoodoo to push off of too.
So
Doesn't
you're-
sound like it'd be that
I don't
hard.
know. So long jump is like I'm trying to jump a long gap on
Yeah.
flat ground. They're trying to jump a long gap, but they don't care about falling.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're purposefully falling.
So I'll say this is going
I have
to
a
be
question.
athletics or acrobatics.
Okay.
I'll let it be one action because this doesn't quite fall under
This
long
is
jump.
yes, less of a jump and more of a just yeet yourself.
Are you trained in athletics or
No.
acrobatics? Neither of them?
Neither.
All right, and then you're going to have a hard time, but I will allow a check. It'll be against the simple trained DC.
How much is that?
15.
Never fucking mind. I'm just gonna fall there next to a Suvu.
They changed their
All right.
mind.
Okay.
you need to. I don't know.
But
I don't
still,
know what you
does
need to
Psycheer
do.
land 2-footed or 4-footed?
7.
So if you want to scream,
Eleanor, no.
you're going to have to catch Eleanor
Or
Suvu and Eleanor.
could they not start from this
Hang
corner
on.
and just go this direction, which would only put the square right there, and
No.
then, please.
No.
You
They
can do
can't.
to
I've been
Eleanor.
measuring these cones.
I
and
know.
there's no way to
Okay.
do it.
So
Hit Eleanor.
I
I have
only-
decent fortitude.
I only walked 1 foot or 1 square. Could I not just take another step as part of that movement action?
I'll let you move one more step, sure. Why not?
Thank
We
you.
go. You know this combat is bad if he's allowing
Why
this.
not?
Oh, hell, the great and merciful
There you
DM.
go. Now
And
you
I'm
can
gonna
do it.
scream.
All right.
For against fortitude. Oh no.
Oh, my fortitude, you say? Here
Yeah.
we go.
Oh.
A 5.
Oh, okay.
Oh, jeez.
Regular success.
5 is a success.
Fortitude is
run.
usually the highest save for things like this, for inanimate-like objects.
Yeah. All right. So half of 7 is going to be 3 points of damage.
We might have to run.
Does
from
it
this.
not take more being Sonic since it's a rock?
You don't know anything about it, but it doesn't look like it.
Oh,
Okay. So that is Psycheer's turn, and that's the end of round 1.
Do my things automatically heighten?
Yes.
That would have been
Okay.
a 3rd level one.
Yeah. I think it doesn't go up to the next tier until you get 7.
Oh, because it's a cantrip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is that. And now it's going to be its turn. And it has so many people to punch. Limit punch. I'm going to spend my whole turn punching.
No, you don't stand and bang in
You're
Pathfinder
not
2E.
supposed to stand and bang.
I'm a monster, bitch.
You have a plus 19 to hit.
So
Don't
what-
stand and bang.
What type of damage did you do whenever you blasted me with an Irradiance turret?
Sonic?
No, it's radiant.
Radiant. Okay, sweet.
And it's not even going to try to go after me because I barely touched it.
It's radical.
Okay, so first one is going to be on Eleanor. I'm just going to go counterclockwise here.
Nimble dodge.
It was a force damage.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Dang it.
Nimble dodge.
Nimble dodge, you're going to need it.
I need it.
Oh God.
And I don't have my
it was
buckler.
on a 1.
No.
That's a natural 19.
Yeah, you crit, you monster.
Even with nimble dodge?
I got a 26 with nimble dodge. I only get up to 28 when I have my buckler, but I had to freaking draw my
I
sword.
like this monster. I rolled a hit.
You go up to
I
28
crit.
with your buckler?
Yeah.
If with my buckler and nimble dodge, I can get up to 28.
I haven't crit Eleanor in ages.
My buckler only
I hate you.
+1.
You're
I
going to
can't
take
hit. I took a crit,
32 points
Oh
of
my
damage.
God.
Goodness.
You are also going to be
and I'm blind now. I can't do anything.
blind for 1 round.
It's like your heels.
I can't do anything. Well, I mean, I'm rolling 1, so who cares?
And then it is going to
Look
punch
at my hit points drop.
Psyche here
Oh,
Oh boy.
for
You need to nimble dodge.
this is going to be a critical as well.
dodge.
Oh,
No, it's a
natural
3.
hot,
It doesn't hit me.
Oh, and it's his second attack is going to be lower.
dog.
Yep, so I missed Psyche here, and I'm going to just keep going around. You spin me right round, punch at Usuvu.
Baby, right round, baby, right round.
Oh, and because of my multiple attack penalty, it's also a miss.
Oh, bless.
You're welcome.
Oh,
You're welcome,
sweet.
party.
Okay.
Thank you, Eglinor.
That's my turn. Eleanor, you're blind.
So I can't do anything.
You could retreat. Retreat, taps fingers. You could get out of dodge, so you can move 10 feet when you're blind.
Retreat taps fingers.
Um,
Stop that.
You can
know
do
what?
other things. It's just you have to target this guy. Hold on. Can you just attack in the last place you knew something was if you're blind?
I have no idea.
That's what
That
I want
is
to know. But
kinda
I have
up
another
to
plan
you.
if this doesn't work. So please let me know. Otherwise, I execute plan B.
Because you can't detect anything with vision, but you don't technically have to detect it if you're attacking the spot it was in.
Okay, so what people are pointing at is that because you're blind, it's basically going to be default hidden to you. And hidden has rules for like if you were doing stealth. A creature you're hidden from knows the space you're in and is flat-footed to you. Oh, see, that would be nice to know because... okay, that should be in the blinded rules.
Yes.
Paizo.
Yeah.
So you're technically flat-footed to it. You must succeed a DC 11 flat check to be able to affect this. So basically, if you want to attack it, it's a flat check. It's kind of like it's being concealed, but worse.
All right, then I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I am going to retreat 10 feet for 1 action.
Retreat.
Where can I get for 10 feet?
You could go.
You're blinded. Oh, for 10 feet, you could go here,
Eleanor would
or
have
here,
observed the combat.
or here.
Yeah, I mean, you know the environment you're in.
Then
if you
I'm
wanna
going to
run
go
backwards.
to that spot. I'm having so much trouble. There we go. That's me. And then she's going to take her second action to sheave her rapier, and a third action to draw her dagger.
Draw
She's
your
going to draw the dagger so that when she is not blind, she can throw a dagger at it, and she can still use panache.
Oh, good call. Okay.
But I would have to tumble through. Never mind.
You'll keep your rapier out.
Yeah, I need to keep my rapier out.
How about this? Do you have any potions of healing on you?
No.
Okay.
We've not been to a place where I can buy them in a long time.
Okay. So that's Eleanor's turn.
So I'm going to keep my rapier.
Yeah, Palzu is no longer blinded.
But that means I have another action. I will raise my buckler.
Oh yeah, good call, good call. Go ahead. Palzu's no longer blinded. It's him and Jax's turn. He has heroism cast on him by Jax. He's gonna shoot this bitch.
Should he not
Actually,
move
he's
so
gonna
it doesn't
move.
get cover?
He's gonna move so he can get a good beat on it, and he's gonna take a shot.
Take the shot. Take the shot.
Oh, he might hit.
That's a solid hit, and he's going to do damage.
Yeah.
15 points of damage, and then he will reload.
Does it look like it all goes through?
Thank you, Drow, for having us take Palzu.
Appears to have all gone through. That's his turn.
Interesting.
Chester Williams, you are also no longer blinded.
Chester's going to devise a stratagem and recall knowledge.
Of course.
Jacob looks happy.
All right, so first, I want to recall knowledge. What do I need to roll for that?
That would be Arcana, or unless you want to argue for Academia lore. For studying planes.
Lore would be lower, right?
A little bit.
Then I will do lore, because Chester studied many subjects.
And he grew up in the Mana Waste.
17 plus 12 for 29.
Okay, I probably would have made it with Academia anyway, either way. You know that this is an Earth Elemental.
I don't happen to critical, do I?
No.
I didn't think so.
Not with either.
Yeah.
This is a Earth Elemental. It's called an Elite Sand Sentry, which is the 6th level version, or 6th level creature for Earth Elemental.
Ooh.
This is not a default one, though.
Aha, I'm sure.
Is there anything particular you want to know?
Resistances and weaknesses.
So it is immune to bleed, paralyze, poison, and sleep. It has no weaknesses, no resistances.
No weaknesses?
No. However, in that vein, it's not a resistance, but you know that these things have an ability called class armor. When the Sand Sentry takes fire or lightning damage, its outer layer of sand fuses into sheets of hardened glass for 1 minute. This increases the Sand Sentry's AC by 2.
Chester
need
will
to know
say,
that.
don't hit it with fire or lightning.
And
If-
grants it resistance 5 to acid, cold, electricity, fire, force, piercing, and slashing.
By God.
Don't do it.
Don't hit it with fire or lightning.
All I can do is piercing damage.
And then Chester now has to consider how he's going to use his natural 20 to hit.
Shoot it with your gun.
Chow.
Ka-chow it with your gun.
Chester's going to, in one action, pull out and throw an acid flask moderate.
Okay. Oh, you know what? That's a good move.
Yep. And he's going to, off the bat, he does 2d6 precision damage, and he will do a lot of persistent damage, but that won't happen until your turn.
Yeah.
So the creature takes 6.
Precision.
No, I'm sorry. 8, 6, 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 acid damage.
Okay.
And then you'll get precision on your turn. And
Persistent.
Persistent,
Yeah.
yes. And Chester will then... Chester's got an action.
How much persistent damage is it so I can punch it in?
2d6 times 2.
Okay.
And all the people around it will take 2 acid damage, unfortunately.
Do you mind if I just do 46 for simplicity?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as I can roll it.
I'm having the Foundry thing keep track of it, so it'll
Okay.
automatically roll its checks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
Then-
Psyche here and Asuvu will both take 1.
Chester, for his last
Okay.
action, will... I guess right...
Do you have healing potions or healing elixirs?
I do, but the way that I have them, if I were to make it this round, it would be useless by next round.
I see.
And it would take 2 actions, 1 to make and 1 to swallow.
I see.
So Chester, I suppose, will just raise his buckler.
Okay.
Oh, he
wish-
has one too?
I wish I could do more. Yeah, my buckler only gives me +1.
Because I took a whole feat to get my buckler to be +2.
Oh, well, that's why mine's a +1.
Psyche here, you have claws, right?
I do not have a weapon like that.
No, you always. Oh, wait, you might have had your dagger. You were on guard.
Technically speaking,
If anyone would have been
all
armed,
can
you
do
might have been.
unarmed strikes.
Okay.
So it's a less, apparently less stringent than it is in 1E.
Because Asuvu wants to 1 action move.
Okay, let's flank.
1 action move to flank, and then trick attack melee with the kukri. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Is that not the same roll as
MVP.
last time?
No.
Flat-footed.
No, it's not critical.
Okay, she must have got 19 last
I
time.
think she
then.
got 19 last
She
time.
did.
Okay.
So jealous.
That is going to be a lot of damage, I think. 19 points of damage.
Nice job,
That's a
Usuvu.
hefty hit.
Hefty.
That is Asuvu's turn. It is now Psyche's turn. What you want to do?
I'm blind, right?
No, I critical
he missed.
Eleanor. I missed you.
You
I
have to be critical
Eleanor.
to be blinded.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even hit you.
Oh, brings my fucking buckler.
It's like we've been
Do
watching
you remember the Mandalorian?
Mandalorian,
Yes.
yeah, raising the little shield.
There was an explosion, and like a shield the size of a dinner plate was raised.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nimble dodge.
Hey, those 2 points can come in handy.
I use the class ability Beskar Armor. I am unkillable.
Yeah.
Plot armor, you cannot kill me.
What you want to do, Psych?
I'm
Hear any
gonna-
ideas?
God.
Punch it.
What you thinking?
There is not a lot for me to do, I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
I was thinking maybe I could get 10 feet up this hoodoo and then drop a thunderstone on it.
Do you have? Well, yeah. What kind of items do you have? Do you have any? Well, first off, do you have any like Drakenheart potions to increase your AC?
No,
Okay.
I have a Tanglefoot bag and I have a thunderstone.
Yeesh. Oh, that's right, because you're not proficient in bombs.
Nope.
Neither am I.
Hey, fun fact. Even though it's less fun now that Alonzo is dead, rogues
God.
and Revision will be getting access to martial weapons.
Hot dog.
Which bombs are?
But he's dead.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just- yeah, you like rogues. Just
Alonzo
go for
smiles
rogue.
in his grave.
You can throw bombs in heaven.
Alonzo's
We
ashes
draw
smile.
a smile in his ashes.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Alonzo looks down from one of the outer planes. Like, that's cool.
So using a thunderstone is 3 actions, right?
Jeez, what?
Thunderstone?
Yeah.
It should be only one to draw and one to throw.
It says retrieve one hand and it has diamond, diamond, diamand.
Is this Thunderstone moderate?
Yes.
Huh.
No, this is a bomb. It's 1 action draw, 1 action to throw. I think it may be thinking about the spell or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 1 action to draw, 1 action to throw.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to... Can I climb up, use the one hand, and throw it?
You can 1 action draw or 1 action climb, 1 action draw, and then throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could also just move on the ground, so sure. Now, do you have the proficiency for this?
No.
All right, so this is just going to be your dex that you're rolling
Oof.
against my AC, right?
Oh.
Yep. But that's all I got.
All right.
Come on, we need a drow typical good roll.
Here we go.
Critical. Critical. Critical.
Oh, it was on an 18.
I would like to use my hero point.
Go ahead. All right, a little bit better. That's going to be, the first one was a 5, this one's a 7. Total 11. It's going to miss still, but you will deal the listed splash damage,
Is it
right?
a critical miss?
Yeah.
Then it doesn't do any damage.
Actually, what's your dex bonus? Oh, it's already added there. 11 total. Yeah. It's going to critically miss, so no splash damage. You hear as it blows up on the ground next to it, but it just kicks up a bunch of sand and dirt and does not affect it, unfortunately. So that's the end of this round.
Right.
Okay. Top of the 3rd round is its turn. There's only one person next to it.
So
and that's
sorry, Usuvu.
Usuvu.
No, it's at the end of its turn. It takes its damage.
Yeah, it is going to
Suvu, no!
punch Usuvu 1 action.
Oh.
Oh, not a good roll. Natural 5.
Still gonna hit though.
Still going to hit with
But
a 24.
not a critical.
Because of my juicy plus 19. It's going to deal the normal damage to Usuvu. That's going to be 19 points of damage.
Oof.
Oof.
All right, and then it's going to Earth Glide over to Chester.
What?
Actually, no, I'm going to roll here because I got 2 people I can attack.
You could attack me. I've done nothing,
and
but you
there's
could.
Noel Bullman,
What?
Paizo.
Palzu.
Pick a number 1 through 6.
Jason Nolman.
3.
It goes to attack Eleanor.
Oh no! It's also
Eleanor's
bad.
still got some hit points to her, and she's got her shield up. So
But you are flat-footed, so your AC will be a little bit lower
do I? I have.
because you're blinded, basically.
Yeah, no, I'm like. It's not a new round, is it?
It is a new round, but it will go away on. Oh,
it's-
go away on its turn. You're not blinded. That's right, because you're only blinded for 1 round.
Yeah.
Start on its turn last round.
Yeah.
So you're good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Easy.
wondering if I could use my nimble dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not blinded. You shake out the sand that's blinded you. You have your shield up still.
And I
you
will-
see it like Bugs Bunny style leaving this trail on the ground and
I will
pop up
nimble
next to
dodge.
you. So this is going to be my 2nd attack. Wow, natural 2.
Oh, thank
I didn't even
goodness.
need it. Dang it.
But hey, you never know. It could have prevented a crit very easily. Okay, so you are no longer blinded, and it is your turn.
All right.
Oh, and there, Foundry just did my
10 damage.
10 damage.
Acid damage. And your roll to overcome it.
Let's roll that real quick. Thank you, Foundry.
Flat check. Oh, it fails.
It critically failed. That doesn't mean anything, but it did.
I wish it meant something.
All right, it's your turn. You see it next to you. It's like dripping acid, and hearing Chester's, I'm gonna hit him, and you have an idea that he hit it. This thing looks pretty bad off. It's also like dropping rocks and sand all over the place.
All right, Eleanor, time to redeem yourself.
You guys got
Do you like my Chester noises there, Jacob?
Mama.
I'm going to attempt to tumble through to land
Okay.
up here.
Okay.
Wait, why am I upside down? I don't mind.
Doesn't matter.
I got you.
I'm gonna use my other die because this die is being punished. Oh, I doubt I'll tumble through. That's like a 17 total.
All right, not gonna do it, but no reactions from me, so you can just.
But that doesn't mean. But I have no panache.
No.
Nope, nah.
And it's not flat-footed. But you can still hit it, or you could try it again. It was already next to you, so you could have another action to try it again. But then you wouldn't be able to raise your shield.
Ah, yes.
Trade-offs.
I'm going to attempt to tumble through again.
Do it.
Land where I'm standing.
Live fast, die fast.
Everything is awful and it doesn't work.
Everything is awful.
Oh God! Shut up.
Every die I have.
When it's part of this game.
I have rolled one good roll this whole combat today, like this whole game.
But it was a
today.
good roll.
But it was my initiative, which did me nothing.
Yeah.
I'm a little pissed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try to attack with
Okay.
no panache and no precise strike, just 2 stupid D6.
Hey, you do
I'm
great.
not going to do much with 2 stupid D6.
Believe in yourself.
I got a natural 16, so I will probably
Yeah.
hit with a 30 exact.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm just pissed because I don't get
A palpable
damage.
hit.
the curse of having to roll for something.
Go ahead and roll me your normal weapon damage.
Actually, I did roll 12 on my D6s. Plus 2 is 14.
Heck yeah. So it's not dead,
That's pretty decent for no panache.
but it hurt. Okay.
And I took a risk. I could not raise my shield.
Taking a whisk.
Taking a risk.
Because if I could have gotten my stupid panache, I could have done a lot better.
Palzu's turn. He's going to move. Him and Jax are going to move and then take a shot.
I finally did some damage.
It's going to be a total natural
Not a 2.
miss, reload,
Shoot.
and that is its turn. You haven't had Mama just move.
Wait, just one reload? No shoot
I moved,
afterwards?
I shot,
oh,
I reload.
You moved.
Why did
Okay.
you move?
Because I was over here in this corner to get a clear shot, and I would have had.
We
he would
can't
have
see
had cover.
him. He's underneath the hoodoos.
He's
Okay.
half under
Hello.
the hoodoo.
Chester's gonna devise a stratagem.
Oh no!
No, it's actually kind of funny. So that's a really bad die
Oh, no.
for my to hits, but a critical on my recall knowledge.
Oh,
With a natural 20 plus 12 for 32 lore.
sure. What else do you want to know?
Is there anything really important I need to know right now?
I mean, not really. This thing does have a lot of going on.
Well, that's okay because I criticaled. I'm going to spend a hero point to re-roll my to hit though.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Hey, at least the reroll went well for someone.
That is an 18
Sometimes you win, sometimes you
on
lose.
the die.
Yes.
Plus, well, I've got to figure out what I'm going to hit him with. I'm going to pull out my gun and shoot it.
Okay.
So that's 18 plus 15 plus 1 because I criticaled on my recall knowledge.
Oh,
and
what is that
because
ability?
of my here, I'm trying to find out where
34.
it is. My thank you for the math because I wasn't thinking of that right now. Because of my known weakness, I could devise a stratagem and roll recall knowledge as part of one action. But if I critically succeed at that recall knowledge check, I notice a weakness and get a +1 circumstance bonus to my attack roll.
You rolled.
I will immediately convey my information to my allies as part of the check, and each ally will gain a +1 bonus to their next attack roll.
Quick question. What did you roll again? I was unconfident in my math.
It is an 18 plus 15 plus 1.
I was right, 34.
Okay.
Habit, kick in the nuts.
Do I Google him?
No.
Okay, I hoped, but I didn't think so. So everybody else will get a +1 if you do an attack.
I do appreciate that, though.
That will just be 46.
46?
4D.
4d6. Where's all 4 of them d6s coming from?
2d6 from the gun with striking, and then 2d6 because of devise a stratagem.
Dope.
Kill it.
That's going to be 5 and 6 for 11, plus 2 for 13, plus 3 for 15 damage as I shoot
No,
it.
13 plus 3 is 16.
16 damage.
All of that is more than 7. I invite you to describe your kill.
Yay!
Chester aims just for center mass to blow a hole through its chest.
You blow a hole through its chest.
There's like a crack there already where the rapier came through, and it just goes boom.
You mean where the kukris from Usu, be real.
Yeah.
All of it.
Eleanor, you stab
I
through
yelled
it.
a hole in it.
But you know that, like, Eleanor, you know that your hit didn't really land, and your sword's still kind of stuck in it. Your foot's trying to pull the sword back out, and you hear, or rather,
You didn't ruin my sword.
Excuse me. You hear, and then you pulling your sword out, and all of a sudden, it just starts to, the hole in it opens, and you start to disintegrate, and it dies in front of you.
Mary Mama Proud.
Thank the gods.
And that's where we're going to pick up in our next episode.
Chester noises.
You win some, you lose
Nice.
some. Good job,
Listen,
Chester.
if it wasn't for the damage you did, it wouldn't be dead right now.
No, I just hate it. It had really high reflexes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Everything.
Eh.
The thing was tough.
Yeah, I did not like that enemy.
Yeah, this episode's over. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Third Gallon Podcast. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing us. If you want to see more from us, check out our website, thirdgallon.com, or follow us on Twitter. We are at Third Gallon, that's THIRD Gallon. And we are also on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook with the same handle, at Third Gallon. We also publish a video version of this podcast on YouTube, which you can find on our channel, The Third Gallon Podcast. Our theme for this season is Delta Rust, composed by Andy Ellison. Our ambience for this episode was composed by Michael Ghelfi, and you can find more of his work on his YouTube channel, Michael Ghelfi Studios. And you can support his awesome work at patreon.com/Michael Ghelfi. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.